Romelu Lukaku and Reece James helped Chelsea to a comprehensive win at the Emirates Stadium. Watch until the end of this review to hear all of my thoughts on yesterday's match. Hello people, welcome to my channel, welcome to another video. This is my review of the match that took place yesterday afternoon at the Emirates Stadium in the Premier League between Arsenal and Chelsea, which Chelsea ended up winning by 2-0. Yes, I did a little flourish there. But yes, what I'm going to do for you guys in terms of this review is that firstly, I will be giving you guys the lineup that Thomas Tuchel fielded at the start of yesterday's London derby. I'll then be giving you guys my thoughts on the match itself. And as always, I'll be breaking it down into the first half and the second half. And as always, I'll be giving you guys the positives and the negatives that I took from the match. And lastly, I'll be giving you guys my thoughts on Chelsea's upcoming Premier League fixture, which will be taking place this Saturday at Anfield against Liverpool with kickoff at 5:30 p.m. UK time. So without further ado, let's get straight into this review. Let's do it. So to get this review underway, we are going to take a look at the lineup that Thomas Tuchel fielded at the start of yesterday's match against Arsenal. And as always, we're going to take a look at the formation first. In terms of the formation, it was a 3-4-3, as pretty much every Chelsea fan expected before the game kicked off. But yes, it was a 3-4-3. In terms of the personnel that Thomas Tuchel chose to field at the start of yesterday's match against Arsenal, he went with Edouard Mendy in goal. He went with a back three of Cesar Azpilicueta, Andreas Christensen and Antonio Rudiger. He went with a midfield four, including the two wing-backs from right to left of Reece James, Jorginho, Mateo Kovacic and Marcos Alonso. And he went with a front three from right to left of Mason Mount, Romelu Lukaku and Kai Havertz. So that is the lineup that Thomas Tuchel fielded at the start of yesterday's match against Arsenal. Now we get into my thoughts on the first half from a Chelsea perspective, of course. And I have to say that in the opening 10 minutes, Arsenal did cause us problems. They had the first shot in the game, which was a low shot from Emil Smith-Rowe that did go on target, but didn't really test Edouard Mendy. But they did put us under a lot of pressure, and we were making quite a few mistakes inside the opening 10 minutes. Having said that, I did feel as though we did have a couple of short spells inside the first 10 minutes where we were able to get into the final third and get some half chances. But Arsenal were the better side in the opening 10 minutes. But after that 10-minute spell, that was pretty much all Arsenal. I felt as though we grew into the game, and in the 15th minute, we got the goal. Great goal. Romelu Lukaku got the ball. He fed it to Mateo Kovacic, who saw Reece James in acres of space down our right-hand side. Romelu Lukaku then shrugged off Pablo Mari in brilliant fashion, I have to say. That the very fact that the pundits were thinking that it might get given as a foul is beyond me, because if it was a foul on anyone, it's a foul on Romelu Lukaku, because Pablo Mari was pulling his shirt. But we'll get into some decisions later on, because there are some things that need to be talked about, and I will talk about them. But anyways, great goal. Romelu Lukaku got fed the ball by Reece James. Brilliant cutback, I have to say, and brilliant movement from Romelu Lukaku, because had he not moved into the space that he created for himself, he would not have scored, basically. But yes, he got the ball, tapped it home, and off he went to celebrate his first ever Chelsea goal. And a brilliant move from Chelsea, I have to say. After that, we continued to go into the game and create some more chances. Mason Mount did have a shot from the left-hand side, which did go on target, but it didn't really test Bernd Leno at all. We did have some good chances. Reece James did have a shot before we scored. But we did have some good chances, and we caused Arsenal all sorts of problems. Romelu Lukaku did have another um, chance to score, but Reece James chose to pass it back to was it Mason Mount instead of passing it along the box to Romelu Lukaku, and that was a chance that did go begging because Arsenal were they were all over the place when Reece James had the opportunity to pass it to Romelu Lukaku for his second in the first half, that is, of course. But yes, we did create some good chances. And in terms of the second goal, my word, was this some brilliant Chelsea play. It started off with Marcos Alonso giving the ball to Kai Havertz, giving the ball back to Marcos Alonso. Marcos Alonso then gave the ball to Romelu Lukaku, who got fouled by Granit Xhaka, who was bullied by Romelu Lukaku in yesterday's game, let's be honest. And the fact that Romelu Lukaku managed to get a touch on the ball meant that Mason Mount was able to get the ball um, and feed it to Reece James, who then took a touch inside the box and slammed it into the top left corner. And I have to say that the finish was absolutely sexy. And yes, Reece James did celebrate in front of the Arsenal fans, but there's one thing that I need to talk about. That fan who threw the bottle at Reece James is an idiot. They do not deserve to be at any ground, and I hope they get banned for it. Yes, the bottle was nowhere near hitting Reece James, but the principle was there. The fact that he threw the fact that I'm not going to say he because I obviously can't tell you if it's a he or she, but yes, the fact that they threw the bottle in the first place is just not right. It's wrong, and we don't want to see that in football. But a deserved 2-0 lead, in my opinion, and overall, I thought that it was a good first half. Actually, no, before I summarise, I'm going to say that Arsenal did have a little spell before the interval, but I felt as though we weathered the storm and um, we got more solid defensively as the game went on. But yes, overall, a great first half performance, a thoroughly deserved 2-0 lead, and in all honesty, you can definitely argue that the scoreline at halftime flattered Arsenal. But yes, now for my thoughts on the second half, and I have to say that at the start of the second half, we we did see Arsenal cause us a few problems, but I did feel as though we were also causing them problems. Yes, during the course of the second half, we weren't doing as much attacking as we were in the first half, but we still generated some glorious chances. Mateo Kovacic had a couple of shots from distance, but they were both wayward. Um, Romelu Lukaku did have a glorious chance to kill the game off with a third goal, of course. I was meant to say he did have a chance to kill the game off by getting his second goal in the game. Sorry, I made a mistake there. After some brilliant play from Cesar Azpilicueta and Mason Mount down our right hand side. But unfortunately, he did see his shot get saved and tipped onto the bar. But yes, we did have some great chances. Hakim Ziyech came on and caused them some problems. Kai Havertz had some chances. Marcos Alonso did have some shooting opportunities, but he didn't take them. Jorginho did as well. We had shooting opportunities from all over the pitch. And in all honesty, we were unlucky to not score a third because it would have been a deserved. It would have been deserved if we scored a third because in the second half, despite not doing as much attacking as we did in the first half, and despite having 17 shots off target, um, actually no, let me retract that. Despite having 17 shots that did not go on target, I still felt as though we created the better chances. Yes, Arsenal did have that Rob Holding header that should have been on target, in all honesty. But I felt as though we nullified them really well. I mean, they took Saka off, and he's meant to be one of their best players, so that just tells you how well we defended. But yes, in all honesty, it was a fantastic performance from us, um, and I'm just so glad that we won because Arsenal have been tormenting us recently. And I've got a fun fact for you. Yesterday's win was the first time Chelsea have managed to keep a clean sheet in the Premier League against Arsenal and win for the first time since January 2016. Yes, it's been that long. But anyways, now for the positives and the negatives that I took from yesterday's match. Starting off with the positives, as always, I've taken two positives from yesterday's match, and the first one is that the entire team played really well, and we were the dominant team, and we were worthy winners of the match yesterday afternoon. But yes, that's the first positive, and I don't really need to say too much else on that because it's there for all to see. But the second positive that I took from yesterday's match is that we put ourselves in a position where we didn't really need to score more goals. Yes, we had some glorious chances to increase our lead, but we didn't necessarily need to score because for large parts of that second half we were pretty comfortable. But yes, those are the two positives that I took from yesterday's match. Sadly, there has to be a negative, and the negative that I took from yesterday's match is the fact that we did lose our concentration in parts of the game. But thankfully, um, we compensated by putting in some great challenges and making some brilliant defensive decisions. But yes, that is it for the positives and the negatives that I took from yesterday's match. And that is it for my thoughts on the match itself. Please, guys, drop your thoughts. Please, guys, do drop your thoughts on the match in the comment section below. And as always, you know this by now, I'll do my very best to respond. Now, we end this review by talking about my thoughts on Chelsea's upcoming Premier League fixture that will be taking place this Saturday at Anfield, in the Premier League, of course, with kickoff at 5:30 p.m. UK time. Honestly, guys, this is going to be a tough game for us. Both sides sit on the exact same points. Let me rephrase that. Both sides sit on the exact same amount of points. Both sides have scored the exact same amount of goals and conceded the exact same amount of goals, 5-0. Liverpool have been fantastic so far, so we have to be careful. Yes, the last time we played at Anfield, we beat them by 1-0, but Liverpool are not the same as they were back then, back in March. They are a lot better right now, and they are looking like a team that can kill anyone. So we have to be at it from the get-go. I'm certainly looking forward to it. Sadly, I'm not going to be able to watch it because of circumstances outside of this channel. But yes, I am certainly looking forward to it. I do believe that we can win, but we will have to be at it from the get-go. I'll say it again. But I'm right now, I'd probably say a draw because both sides are so well matched up. But we'll just have to see. That is it for this review. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you all very soon for some more videos. Come on, you Blues. Come on, Thomas Tuchel, and peace.